An absolutely beautiful winter's evening in Coral Gables, Florida. Coming up, a 6-round light heavyweight battle featuring Danny Santiago. Terrific record, 27 and 218 knockouts, and he's taking on Saunders. Comes in here 15-7-1, 7 KOs from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's got a tall order to handle Santiago, who is a terrific, terrific fighter who also had 86 amateur fights. He was a 95 and 96 New York Golden Glove champ. So Santiago is a terrific, terrific fighter. Saunders, on the other hand, Benny, you can tell us a little bit about him. We had a great chat with him yesterday. This kid has lost 4 of his last 5 fights, but he's very determined for tonight's fight.
Well, and his answer to that is when you're self-promoted and self-managed, you're going to get some of those losses. But here's a guy that was sparring with Tarver and decided to come down to light heavyweight. He had been fighting principally as a cruiserweight. Now is able to go ahead and get himself down and said he'd like to be a light heavyweight and figures that that's where his future in boxing is. And he thinks he can do some great, great things there. He was talking about the fact that, you took a look, he's a combination between Holyfield and James Toney. And he says he loves to fight. He had 16 amateur fights, turned pro at the age in 2002. And this guy has some kind of shape. Vegetarian. We watched him yesterday. His buddies were eating like triple-decker cheeseburgers. And I said, boy, that is mean to do that in front. He said, doesn't bother me. I'm a vegetarian.
Well, I'll tell you this. His last win was a first-round knockout over Dean McCole. That was in November in a fight in West Virginia. And maybe the fact that he's come down in weight has helped him with his power. We'll find out what that's all about tonight. But when you talk about a combination of the likes of the 2 fighters that you mentioned there, you're talking about some very, very talented fighters. So we'll see if Saunders can stand up to the things that he told us. But dropping down into this division, he really hopes that he will have a lot more strength. And he's been training well for about 5 weeks, and he says he's in 100% conditioning. So that's what this fight's all about. And here comes Danny Santiago, terrific kid. Calls himself the Bronx Bomber after Alex Ramos, who heads up the Retired Boxing Foundation. He's a very close friend of Alex's, and he's proud that he's from Florida, originally brought up in the Bronx, but he lives in Ocala, Florida now. This kid's a terrific fighter. What's the book on him, Benny?
Well, according to his trainer, Pat Burns says this is the best kept secret in boxing. He's never been in a structure where people cater to him, and now he is in one. He's got a vicious overhand right, comes out of nowhere, great left hook, great body shot. His worst year was 2002. He was cruising along there, undefeated, until May 11, 2002, when he ran into Rocky Torres, and then later on against Orlando Rivera. Torres, a very light punching guy, dropped him in the 11th round, but he rebounded off of that, and he's now got 5 straight wins.
Well, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Santiago, you can see he's a year older. He's got a shorter reach by 5 inches. That's considerable. He's about 5 pounds heavier, and he is a couple of inches shorter than his Saunders. So everything on except for the weight advantage that Santiago has, is in favor of Saunders. We'll see what factor that is during the course of the fight. The rules under the Florida State Athletic Commission, 10-point must-scoring system, no standing 8 count. There is a 3-knockdown rule in Florida. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. If there's any accidental headbutts or any of that sort of thing that becomes a factor of the fight, I'll explain that rule to you as it becomes pertinent. All right, Jimmy Lennon Jr. is set, so we're set to get this light heavyweight battle underway. Here's Jimmy Lennon. Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the Big Star Special Attraction light heavyweights in the ring in about scheduled 6 rounds of boxing. Bien amigos, esta es una atracción especial entre pesos semicompleto 6 rounds. Presentando a los jueces, introducing to you our judges, Michael Pernick, Mike Ross, and Peter Trematera. Our third man to the ring, el referee, Frank Santeria Jr. All right, fans, here we go, introducing to you first on my right. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks, he weighed in at 100.